Welcome back to My First Dish. Today's episode is really, really special to me. When I first came up with the idea for this show and started talking to people about it and sharing my ideas of telling these stories, one of the first people that I told is an incredibly dear friend of mine, Emily Grootman. And when I told her about it, we were with we have kids that are all the same age, and we were at the beach. So I kind of told her my idea, and as Emily normally does, she's super encouraging, but it went kind of beyond just being a friend and being like, oh, that's a great idea. She shared her thoughts and feelings about food and the way that it connected her to her family and to her ancestors, people that she's never met, and that when she cooks a meal, she feels them in her life and feels them in her heart. Every time I edited this interview, I would get teary-eyed. Every single time. And I can't watch her story without feeling that love and that connection she has to her past, to her ancestors, and to the people that she holds dear. Enjoy her story.
I can't remember when I started cooking. I've been in the kitchen with my family as long as I can remember. Not just joining in and helping the cooking, but being like a provider of the meal was also something that kicked in at a really young age, even if it was just split pea soup from a can. My love of food has several different layers to it. There are just pure taste enjoyment, whether that's high-end or completely trashy low-end, that range works for me. I also have a lot of joy with the memories and traditions that I have with my family and the meals that we've shared together, and we tend to share on holidays and special occasions that just give me warm fuzzies all over. So my grandmother, Jimmy Dean Nall Ballinger, but don't call her Jimmy Dean. She was from a small town in Turkey, Texas, in the Panhandle. And her mother, my great-grandmother, Audie Mae, taught her how to make pie crust from the very beginning. And they grew up on a ranch. Pie crust wasn't just for a sweet thing, it was also used for savory meals, and also it helps extend whatever protein and vegetables you have, so it was always something that came in handy. My grandmother taught my mom, and my mom taught me, and it was something that we all shared together. It's just my family's recipe. It's my family's tradition. I've never had a desire to try to improve upon it, because it's just such a ingrained part of who we are. The first time I ever was flying solo on making the pie crust was, I think I was 15 years old. And we had a lot of doctors and nurses in the family. And this particular Thanksgiving, all of the moms were working. And it was the first time that I wasn't being an assistant or supervised. I had to get it right, because there's all these techniques that Grandma taught us about not handling the dough too much, because it'll make it tough if you activate the gluten with the heat from your fingers, and so you touch it as little as possible, you keep it as cold as possible. If it's falling apart when you're trying to put it in the pan, it means it's going to be even better. And so making sure that I hit all those markers, and that it was like the flaky, crispy, just the right amount of salt, and them praising me, even if they were lying and shining me on. It was one of the first times I remember feeling so proud about what I had done in the kitchen. Since my mom and my grandma have passed on, one of my favorite things about not just this recipe and not just the pie crust, but just the food that we've shared together is there are very few things in life that you get to recreate, that reignites that memory. And I mean, so many things that you do it and it's done, and you walk away. But the beauty of making the food that I've shared with my family for so long is every time I find myself mixing in the shortening the right way, or kneading the dough for the rolls, or whatever it may be, it's almost like a little time travel. And I get to revisit moments that I'm not going to be able to experience with them again. But it's like a little visit and a little communion that we get to have together. And their memories and their presence are not completely lost to my children. They still get to be present in their lives, and my children still get to know them. So it's just such a gift to be able to relive these moments over and over, and to have the smell and the taste and the texture and all of that swirling around you as you're just preparing something that seems so simple.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I have. And I hope you come back and watch more of our wonderful stories and episodes on My First Dish. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Food Done Good channel so you can get more of this great content.